Hello friends, in this video let's discuss static timing analysis. So recently in GATE 2020 a question was asked in digital electronics to find out the maximum frequency that can be operated in the circuit without any fault. Okay, so to solve such types of questions static timing analysis is necessary, but this video will not go through the complete analysis of static timing but only necessary. It will here right here we will be discussing only necessary part for the gate examination. Okay, so let's describe the digital circuit in this way. Two flip-flops in between a combinational circuit, and the input is applied to the first flip-flop and the output is taken at the second flip-flop, and a common clock is applied to both of the flip-flops. So here we are neglecting clock skew, many other things we are neglecting here. Okay, so for any flip-flop or resistor you can say a clock is present, right? So here I am taking the rising edge of the clock. Okay, so there are two timing parameters for a flip-flop. They are known as setup time and hold time. Okay, what is meant by setup time is before the rising edge of the clock, the input that is applied to the flip-flop should be stable at least for t setup time. Okay, so what I am saying is you will be applying an input right here. Okay, that input should be stable. There should be no transitions in this input before at least t setup time before the application of the rising edge of the clock. Similarly, the input should not undergo any transitions after the rising edge of the clock for at least t hold time. Okay, so these two combinedly are known as timing window. Okay, so setup time before the rising edge of the clock, it is a minimum amount required for the input to be stable, and hold time is the minimum amount of time required for the input to be stable after the clock edge rising appear. Okay, so that only then the input that is applied to the flip-flop will be captured correctly. Okay, otherwise the flip-flop might enter into metastability. We are not concerned about metastability. What is metastability? What is the theory behind it right here? Okay, but I am just giving the term, that's it. Okay, so let's discuss setup time and hold time somewhat in brief. So t setup time, as I already said, the definition is given. It will determine the clock period, and if it is violated, what you can do is you can increase the clock period. That is, in other words, you can reduce the clock frequency so that that setup time violation can be resolved. Okay, but t hold time, it has no role in determining clock period. Okay, but if it is violated, chip is useless. You can't tweak the clock period in order to resolve the t hold violation. Okay, in order to resolve setup time violation, you can tweak the clock period, but that's not the case for t hold. Remember these 2 points. Okay, now let's find what are the conditions, what are the timing conditions required for this flip-flop or for this digital circuit to work correctly. Okay, so here the clock is represented and this is the t clock. As I already said, t setup only determines the clock period. There is no role for a t hold in determining the clock period of a digital circuit. Okay, so this is the rising edge of the clock. As I said before, this will be the t setup time. Okay, and here you can see that, let me write here. So the propagation delay of flip-flop 1 is TPD1 and the propagation delay of combinational is TComb. Okay, and this may be TPD2 propagation delay. Setup time is T setup 2 and this is setup time is T setup 1. Okay, now we are concentrating at flip-flop 2. Okay, you should concentrate at flip-flop 2 in order to determine the clock period. Okay, because since you are applying the input right here, it is traversing along this path. It is traversing through the combinational circuit present here and it is appearing at the flip-flop 1. So the paths you should consider in any digital circuit in order to determine the timing conditions are, it should start from a flip-flop and it should end at a flip-flop. In between you should not have any other flip-flops. Okay, so now here a path can be shown as this. it is starting from a flip-flop and ending at a flip-flop. Okay, once again I am showing you. It is starting from this flip-flop and traversing right here, and it is ending at this flip-flop. So at first, the main point you should remember is, whenever a circuit is given, in order to determine the time period of clock frequency of that circuit, you should identify the paths from which identify the path such that it is starting from a flip-flop and ending at another flip-flop. Okay, that point you should remember. Now this is the path, right? So let's see. So at this point, from here a signal is coming. So that signal should appear here before T setup time of this flip-flop. Okay, but also that signal is traversing through this combinational circuit. That's why there will be combinational or propagation delay of this for this combinational circuit also, that is named as T-com, and there will be similarly for input to appear at this output of the flip-flop, there is TPD1. Okay, so the total, the signal from here when clock is given to the circuit, TPD1 is the propagation delay of this flip-flop such that the output will be appearing right here, and the T-comp to come out of this combinational circuit, and before the T setup time of this flip-flop, you should appear at this flip-flop, right? So that's what I have written. TPD1 plus T-comp should be less than or equal to T clock minus T setup time. So in a single clock period, that signal should appear at the end of the second flip-flop before T setup time. That's why I have written T clock minus T setup 2. But that signal is encountering propagation delay of flip-flop 1 and combinational delay of gate in between. Okay, so you can write T clock is greater than TPD1 plus T-com plus T setup 2. Okay, by rearranging the terms. Okay, I think you got this point. I will be discussing it very clearly when I am solving that GATE 2020 question. So let's go to that question right here. So the question is, for the components in the sequential circuit shown below, TPD is the propagation delay, T setup is the setup time, T hold is hold time. The maximum clock frequency at which the circuit can operate reliably is how many megahertz? Okay, so this is the circuit given. These are two flip-flops and a combinational path is there, and the clock is given to this right here. Okay, what I have said before, that is, you should identify the paths that are starting from a flip-flop and ending at another flip-flop. Okay, so let us identify those paths. So one of the path is starting from this flip-flop, going right way again and coming back and ending at this flip-flop. Okay, that is one path. One more path is starting from this flip-flop, going in this way and ending at this flip-flop. So I think those are only two paths which are present in the circuit. You can find out yourself. Okay, so at first what I have done is I have identified the paths that are starting from a flip-flop and ending at flip-flop. These two are the paths. Okay, and three things I should give you is, when you are starting from a flip-flop, you should consider the propagation delay of that flip-flop. Okay, and when you are ending at one flip-flop, you should consider the setup time of that flip-flop. These are like shortcuts. Okay, so when you are starting from a flip-flop, you should consider the TPD or propagation delay of that flip-flop. When you are ending at a flip-flop, you should consider the setup time of that flip-flop. And when a gate is encountered in the path, you should consider the T-com or combinational delay or propagation delay, whatever you can call it as. You should consider that combinational delay strictly, it is called as. Okay, now let us see the first path. This is the first path, as I already said. So here you are starting. One second. So here you are starting right here, and because you are starting here, you are starting at a flip-flop, you should consider the propagation delay of that flip-flop, that is 3 nanoseconds, and you encounter two gates, so you should consider the combinational delay of those two gates, that is 2 nanoseconds and 2 nanoseconds, and then you are ending at a flip-flop, so you should consider the T setup time of that flip-flop. Okay, so totally the time period will be 3 plus 2 plus 2 plus 4, that is equal to 11 nanoseconds. So the similar way you should find another time for the another path present in the circuit. So I am starting at this flip-flop. So I should consider propagation delay of that flip-flop, and there is no combinational path, and I am ending at a flip-flop. So I should consider the setup time of that flip-flop. So it will be 8 nanoseconds plus 5 nanoseconds. Sorry, this is 5 nanoseconds. Okay, so that is equal to 30 nanoseconds. This is 5. Okay, remember that. So then after doing the same analysis for all the paths present in this digital circuit, then you should consider the maximum of all those paths time periods. Okay, maximum of t1 and t2, that is maximum of 11 and 13, that is equal to 13. So the 13 nanoseconds, this is, okay, let me write that one also. This is 13 nanoseconds. So then frequency will be 1 by 13, that is equal to 0.0769 gigahertz. So your answer can range in between 76 megahertz to 77 megahertz. So in another video I will be discussing the 3 to 4 problems, different problems in the same genre. But what I am saying is, this is only very brief introduction to STA analysis. There are various other terms and various other conditions which are present in STA. We are planning to record one separate video for the complete in-depth analysis of STA. Okay. For this lecture, that's it guys. Thank you very much.